You know, I could probably get down that and up easy enough, either one of these spots, but do I want to? No, I don't think that's the direction.
Right on, Jewel. Let your spirit be free. With the wind at your back and the whole world.
I told you I knew where I was.
Jewel. Let your heart be your guide. In the depths of the thunder, it's your rant and your ride.
Alrighty, it's been a real interesting day. These poor people. You can see in the little white car, that's the third car that's come through here. But they got a flat tire out here. They were supposed to attend a wedding out there. All right, so the Flying M Ranch is out there. Used to be the old Hilton Ranch. They sold it off. And they thought it was going to be at the Flying M Ranch, but no. It was more over those mountains that direction, because there is a turnoff that goes over there, probably at one of those ranch houses, because there's a few of them, but they're like, yeah, we should have just canceled the wedding plan. But it's been interesting. Yeah. I'm going to turn this on for a second. I am going the opposite direction. I'm pointed this way because I like to come over here and look for froggies. And be careful that I don't fall in here and make a YouTube video, you know, one of those clumsy YouTube videos. It could happen. I did park right here and get off my bike. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of stupid. We're out here outside of Yerington and outside of where the Flying M Ranch is and Pine Grove. So we're not going to Pine Grove today. I think we did that 2 weeks ago. And we're just, what I'm looking for is a little hot springs out there. Alright, just showing you the Pine Grove turnoff. Yeah. So this is one of my camp spots. But usually if I'm with other people, I only got 53 miles a gallon. I mean, I was being heavy on the throttle to Yerington. I didn't videotape hardly any of that, but yeah, I was working the throttle pretty hard. You know, sometimes you just gotta get lots of adrenaline flowing. You know, because that's a painkiller for anybody, but that's painkiller for old guys, right? Adrenaline, and it's the best painkiller. Well, the best. Okay, really, I haven't been video much today. I didn't post any video last week. Actually, some of it was messed up. I did from the ride last weekend, the event ride, yeah. From the event ride I did, but my other little short rides, I call them short. El Dorado Canyon, you know, even doing El Dorado Canyon is, I don't know, there, back. It's like close to 40 miles. Short rides. Anyway, didn't post a lot of short rides. We got an antenna out here. Yeah, nice. Well, it's a repeater, I guess. U.S. Geological Survey. But think we're within maybe 5 miles or approximate of where I gotta turn off to look for the hot springs, but like I said, I mainly want to see how the road is, because it's been reported that that road's always a rough road. You know, it's like a Jeepster road or a UTV road, you know, kind of harder core four-wheel drives. You know, you can do it in a more milder four-wheel drive, yeah, not really recommended and kind of iffy, so. Yep, so many times in the past on my videos, I've said one of these days, I've got to go down that road. So, this is the road for the hot springs. You know, and it's a well-traveled road, so I'm sure there's lots of people that go to it now. I mean, it was a pretty secluded hot springs back in the day, but they actually have a marker for it on Google Earth. So anyway, I've always wanted to come look at this road, so that'll be one thing out of the way if I don't actually you know, but that might be the road. I didn't think the road was this far back. Like I said, on Google Earth, you can't tell. There it is. Pretty sure this is it, so. Yeah, that road led over here. But from the comments of this, yeah, this gets really, really rocky, supposedly, and sandy. Yeah. It is on Google Earth, and it's actually marked on Google Earth, and it never was before. So this is pretty cool, but I'm not gonna get all crazy if it gets crazy, because I'm back here by myself and I've never been back here, so I've been by it 500 times. I did actually ride over in these mountains over here a couple of times, but I wasn't. Once I was trying to find the hot springs, but the other times I was just exploring. And like I said, if it looks like it's gonna get all crazy, and I usually turn around and go, yeah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing any crazy single track or kind of stuff like that by myself. And I wouldn't have done that, a long time ago. I didn't do a lot of crazy exploring on the XR just because, not that it wasn't capable, but it's just heavy, It's a heavier bike to pick up. Even when I first bought it and I was younger, it's just, XRs are heavy. This bike is not heavy. That's why I love this bike. I still love my XR, but yeah, this thing is quick, capable. Yeah. And the cool thing about this bike is it's pretty darn good. It's almost really close to having like a recluse. I'm in second gear, but I'm just above idle, and it just kind of holds it, I'm expecting to stall it one of these times, because you would, you're going too slow, but I haven't ever stalled this bike out going too slow, but all my other bikes I have. So it just kind of idles along, right? And that's second gear. So even in first, I could probably idle along even lower. I don't know. Might be a little more lurchy. Well, this is way cool back here. Definitely gonna be a future camping area. But I can tell you right now, this is way cooler than I even expected what it was going to be like. Even this road, even if it's not the right road, it's way cooler than what I expected. This is just kind of cool, right? Snaking down through a canyon. It's not that hidden, because it's posted on hot springs in Nevada. You can go on there and see pictures of it and read about it. They just don't give you the exact coordinates. They just give you a kind of, it's 9 miles that way, 10 miles that way, they just kind of do that. I actually had a guy who worked for BLM out of Reno. He was one of my customers, and we got on this conversation about this place somehow because he does off-road surveying or something for BLM or the state of Nevada, and he knew exactly where this place was, and he gave me the coordinates to it on a piece of paper. And I'm not running the coordinates right now. I'm just going by looking on Google Earth and seat of the pants, just exploring. That's all I'm doing. Just exploring, and this is a pretty cool road already. Okay, second gear, just chug, 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 right? I'm actually trying to see where it's gonna die, you know. I'll probably fall over when it does. You know, probably coming up against the rock or something like that will kill it if I don't give it gas, but just trying to see how low I can lug it in second gear without killing it. Second gear, mind you. Yeah, there you go. I've done that 3 times today. And I was paying attention, but yep. So this might be the end of my ride. See, I don't. And at this point right now, I would say maybe this isn't the right route. If it kept snaking all the way down. But I really feel like the people that I know who have come down here and who would come down here wouldn't be riding over this stuff, pretty sure. Could be wrong, but this is almost getting into, yeah, they wouldn't be doing this. Yep, that ends it right there. So you can see the tire tracks, yeah, UTV stuff, maybe rock crawlers. And I could probably, I could probably get down that and up easy enough, either one of these spots, but do I want to? No, I don't think that's the direction. Just because of this. I know people wouldn't be bringing the casual four-wheelers who have come in here and written about this would not be going over that. I better not see a mining thing back here with the school bus. Pretty darn cool. And like I said, I could probably go up that all right. But, and other people would be like, that's no problem, man. Piece of cake. But some of the easiest stuff that you think is no problem is where you break your foot. Just falling over. stupidly. So I went back to the Y. As you can see, this road took off and started going uphill. That's why I didn't think it was this one. But maybe it goes up and then drops back down. So as you can see, here's the fence. We went through this fence down there, but see, we were going down that canyon. We're above it now. But we were going down that canyon all the way down there. You see this road, it looks like it goes up there. I see another road going up there. I kind of feel like the road's supposed to be going down into the canyon, not up out of the canyon. But we'll see. Might go over that ridge and then down. Hallelujah. Kind of feel like this is back here where the hot springs is. But yeah, I wouldn't be coming in here to go sit in the hot springs. This is definitely a weekend with Jeeps. I mean, this is that road from the bottom side. I mean, in reality, I think it looked worse from up there looking down on it. You know, this is all pretty clear over here, but a little bit off camber. I don't think it's too loose, but so far so good. And this clears out to the next corner. I'm just going for a hike. But the comments said pretty rocky. You know, you're going to have to switch sides back and forth. As long as you keep your momentum, you're fine. But see, you'll have to come on this side and then cross over right where all those rocks are and get on the high side. But I mean, for your casual off-roaders, which is what I viewed some of them as, I remember this, they said part of the road is kind of washed out, and that's probably it. People had put rocks there, right? I mean, it's cool, you know, but I think I'd rather come in here in a UTV, not my dirt bike. Especially for an hour, 2 hour soak, right? This is, seems a little intense for that. If you were coming down here to camp overnight, okay. But then your bike is loaded up with camping gear. Makes it heavier and easier to slide out. Yes, sir. Huffing and puffing up that hill. To get back to old Husky girl. Yeah. Anyway, pretty darn cool trail. Maybe on another day I'll do that. Feel like it's no problem. Probably wouldn't be a problem today, but yeah, I'm not up for it. It's later in the afternoon. Yep, so since I wanted to see this road forever, you know, there's roads all over though, right? There's another road going that way. You know, endless roads. That's why you spend so much time out here in the desert, because some of them are short and some of them are long. So, in my mind, I kind of feel like this would run into the highway that's going up to Bridgeport. I can't remember what that pass is called, but that's the way I feel like going this direction would end up. You know, it would dump out on that highway at some point over there in that valley, because it would be way over there in that valley. Well, this is pretty cool, but really, I have the slightest idea where I am. And I'm right along the river, which is cool. I mean, this is like super awesome, right? I mean, you want to pick a spot to come camp. You're right next to the river. There's probably some livestock out here though. I mean, definitely vehicles that traveled on this. Doesn't look like UTV tracks, really. Looks like truck tires. But, you know, the bigger road I was on back behind me on the maps program looks like it just dead-ended in the mountains. Like it went up maybe to a mining claim or something, or I mean, this is totally cool back here for exploring. You know, these roads, they show up on the maps program, but they just look like what you're seeing, like little trails. But it shows it goes over to the highway. I'm not exactly 100% positive which highway I'm going to. It says Hawthorne. So it's probably, look at that. I think where it's going is probably going to the dirt road. That's why it's called Hawthorne something road. I think it's going to empty out on that dirt road that comes from Hawthorne, and it goes over to the highway that you would take to either go into Smith Valley or Bridgeport, left or right. I think there is, there's a big cabin right there, and I'm not going through that, so yeah. So I'm not playing in the water today, yeah. Okay, so there's a big cabin back there, or a house. maybe people living off grid, but so anyway, we're going back the other direction we came. Probably gonna get back at dark, you know, anyway. So, not gonna be videotaping much going home because you've already seen it. I'm going back the way I came. Yep, definitely little cool camping places I'm finding. Way out here between Smith Valley and Hawthorne. Yeah. Alright, so secret camping places. You know, there's another one up here. Well, I guess you could call this a camp spot. Right? You could pitch a tent here or there. And you could park stuff out here. But nice camping spots for living in the desert, right? These are places where you come, spend a week at. Oh yeah. Right at the time of day where it's hard to see stuff in the road, but you know, the darker it gets, then the light casts shadows on rocks and ditches. Did I bend my rim? I don't think so. I hit it square. Got rim tape on, so it's hard to see. Oh, no, that's tape. Oh, right there? Huh? Well, you saw how you hit those rocks. Maybe you should have seen it. I think the camera's working, so. Anyway, I hit it square, so the tubeless should have taken all of that and not bent my rim. I don't think I bent my rim. That's a crazy adrenaline rush right there. That's addicting. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh! Damn bugged at high speed, or medium speed. Damn it. Oh. And no eye drops. Ah. Wow. Visor is partially tinted and it has scratches on it, so I had it open. Got a bug to the center of my eyeball. That hurt. All right, well, yeah. I had fun. overshot a couple of corners. One because I was just blasting it, and one because my eye was watering, and yeah. So I got my face shield closed, and yeah, slow it down. So okay.